I got up there last night, couldn't find it, so I just randomly went through.
Yeah, no,
I was at least on target.
yeah, you were thinking the right way, so I appreciate it.
Right.
And Adele went to her Lutheran church. I think she goes to New Tabor Lutheran. I'm making that up. It's not Elizabeth Lutheran. It's one of the others.
New Tabor, but I don't know if it's Lutheran.
Oh, Brethren. It's Brethren. And she was going to talk to their board last night, which was great. Lions Club said they give so much money to these individually that they didn't want to give us any money. So I was like, the idea is to give money to the club, so that's fine.
Yeah.
And Rotary gave us money, and Trent at Bud Cross has given us money, and perhaps J7, and he's in now.
He's in it now. So.
Good morning. How are you, Gary?
I'm doing well. Thank you. This morning.
Wonderful.
Well, I hope he has a form.
I know. Well, Tyler, he was like, we have both kids tomorrow. Like, can't you just call in and say you can't go? I said, oh no, Leah threatened me. So I'm going.
I'll be elected to something.
He giggled hard at that one. Hi, pumpkin.
He totally gets me.
He does. He appreciates your personality a lot.
I
I
appreciate
wish
you.
I had me some books like that.
I know, aren't those cool?
I'd love to have books like that, especially it's raining so much lately.
I mean, with the rain, you've got to have something.
Yeah.
Okay, come on, some juice.
Well, Kim's not coming, and Nancy's, and Janice isn't coming, and so
Betsy?
Betsy's coming.
How many do we need?
How many do we need now? We're 7. We need 4.
1.
I didn't see Gina to remind her to remind him. So
Janice is not coming?
she just sent me a note and said I can't get away.
Okay. Well, that's a new one.
Yeah, she just did that, so she didn't have a chance to even tell
You're
you.
more important than me.
You are now representing
I know where I
Janice.
stand.
That's right. Just for 10 minutes.
Yeah. No.
Did you finish your sausage?
Let me send Nancy a
Can you
note.
put all that bread in that bag and bring
Oh,
it
no,
to
she
me?
said never mind coming.
Oh.
Oh, good. Okay.
Good.
That all took place without your knowledge, Gary.
Hey, I just do what I'm told. When she says jump, I say how high on the way.
Shocking. You can hear us down the hall.
Thank you so much, Charlotte. You have to finish your sausage.
No, you're not last, don't worry. Good. Give that look.
I know, I'm like, oh.
Janice is on her way.
Huh?
Janice did say she could come, then she sent another note saying she could, so.
You have to finish your
There you go,
sausage, sir.
thank you. And I am going to order the checks, because and not stupid checks like this. The book of checks, the checkbooks are still attached to the cardboard folder.
Yeah.
But it was easy for me to keep up with
That's
them that way.
trash. That's trash. Your donut is here, but you must finish your sausage first.
Oh,
Just had some of those printed.
oh, yeah. Absolutely. This is if you want to figure out a time specifically.
Okay.
But I have lots of people that have offered you and Tina Finch and Marcia. And so you don't have to pick anything. You can come when I'm coming if you want. I wouldn't mind having 2 people at those times because I'm going to open and close it. I thought that makes sense.
And this is on which day?
And I've got your shirt. The 18th. Okay, Rhonda, if you want to sign up.
Well, I was just gonna tell you, any time slot you need, just let me know.
You gotta come and pick. Everybody's telling me the same thing, so I don't know when to tell them. I have a sign-up sheet that I put in the few people that had specifics.
And I really don't care, I mean, I'm like, oh, wait, is that Saturday or Friday?
It's the 18th.
18th, right.
I've got a normal workout this morning.
We don't know. No, it's next Tuesday. Hey,
Oh, the thing is Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rhonda, it's Tuesday.
So she showed up,
Wow.
so I'm saying.
Well, I really messed up. I assumed it was gonna be on a weekend.
See, I gotta take your seat. No.
What do you want me to just write in?
Yeah,
I'll sit down here. Is anybody else coming?
Nancy maybe, Kim is not, and I haven't heard from Juan.
You can sit down. You're welcome.
There you go. Yeah, thanks. I've got stuff for you. I know. Hey, Sandy. I got you a shirt since you signed up for work. Oh, you do? Okay, cool.
I got
You got one.
wore it to
That's
the
always
team
fun.
conference.
Oh, excellent.
So,
Okay.
and I love it because it's
Where's the,
not
sorry, I
I
moved it. I thought you had done it.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay. So, Tuesday morning. Yeah. Yeah. I'll do this one.
Did I send you the note about Kai's note yesterday? She got somebody signed up for the thing.
Oh, good. Okay.
Oh, that's you. Forrest.
No, that was me.
Oh, that was you. I was like,
So
how did
do
my phone
we-
make that sound? I thought you'd started it.
Do we double it up or just?
I think doubling up's a good idea. So any of the times is
Okay.
fine.
All right, so your busiest time will be after school and after work, right? So why don't I do this one also, because that should be after school.
Yeah, that'll be a lot.
Okay.
And then JP is,
He's got his group,
yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the ladies brought me his Thanksgiving dinner.
And then you're signed up on the thing for next Tuesday. So, and she's gonna double up with you, so if you get stuck, just let me know. You can get out of there later.
I'm gonna put those on my calendar real quick.
Tuesday.
What?
Tuesday.
Yeah, not Saturday, not Friday. I'm thinking, wow, I hadn't even looked that far down.
I understand.
And then we vote after that. I guess open voting will come the week after that, right?
Where are they voting?
Don't we vote?
Registration is today for voting. Right. Yeah, they early vote.
Oh, I had to fail my dad's registration.
I'm gonna get started.
Thank you. What
I
time
mean,
did I
I
put?
don't
That's what I
even used
usually
it, I
do.
would see.
9 after prayer and 4.
You know, working, doing something, and I haven't.
We're good.
Okay. All right, we're gonna call the meeting to order. Thank you all for being here. We can begin with the pledges and invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one indivisible. Rhonda, would you offer an invocation? Sure.
Father, we come before your presence and we thank you for all that you're doing in the city of Caldwell and Burleson County. We give you the praise and the honor for those you've chosen to sit in seats of authority. We thank you, and once more we ask for rain. Thank you, Lord, for all the discussion today and your plan to be over. In Jesus' name. Amen.
See, Charlotte, your rain boots were part of the prayer. Excellent work at that time. All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
I don't think we have anybody signed up for public comment. We don't have the minutes.
I just printed this. I'm sorry. Well,
Oh, I didn't get a copy of it. Okay, here.
there you
I
go.
could have not seen them. If everybody wants to take a second and look at the minutes.
That's from June and August.
Okay.
I will tell you, I've not reviewed them, so whatever Madeline has on there.
That's what she thinks happens. I like the part that says Gary, Tony, and Mike did a lot of work. About 1,000 people and very little to no trash was left behind.
I know.
Recorded forever.
Exactly.
I think these look good. If I could, Forrest, I'll take a closer look at them to see if anything is. Yeah. If we could entertain a motion.
I make a motion to accept the minutes.
Perfect. Do I have a second?
I say.
Catherine, thank you. All those in favor? Any opposed? So passed. Thank you. Everybody. Oh, we already said it. Thank you. Moving on. We've got committee updates, Festival of Tables. Betsy, you brought the flyers, so you can.
Right, yes, if anyone would like a flyer, please, we've got several up here, but right now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people confirmed.
Alyssa Melson.
Okay.
I don't know who that is.
11 people confirmed.
She would like a table to decorate, and I sent her the rules. I asked her to send us the her contact information because I didn't know, and she's gonna double check with Grace.
Okay.
That's who she was originally gonna do, and I don't think she did.
Okay. We need to double this number, basically. So if you know of anybody, Sandy, this is the hit list you're on. I wanted to see if you would be interested in decorating the table.
So explain to me what festival.
Okay, Festival of Tables is a new fundraiser that we're doing that's pretty exciting. Janice may be able to speak to it better than me, but basically there's no charge for you or anyone to say I want to decorate a table. The theme is totally open. It can be a holiday theme, it can be a football theme, it can be whatever you want it to be. And we're gonna decorate on Thursday, open to the public on Friday to come view the tables, and then Saturday evening we're gonna have an Italian dinner. Tickets for the dinner are $50 each, and each table will seat up to 8 people. So we would love the people decorating to be able to sell their tickets and fill the table, but we will also put it out to the general public. This is November 18th and 19th. So
the dinner is the Saturday evening.
yes. And if you know of anyone, if you can do it.
We'll be out of the country.
Oh, okay. Well, that's no excuse.
We're gonna be in Jamaica, but I will, I'll definitely take this. One of the reasons I'm here is on behalf of the South District, so
Right.
I'll take this back.
Okay, and yeah, please take
I'll take a few of these.
Yeah, take a few of these, but, also, I made this kind of hit list of people I could think of that I don't really personally know. So I'm going to throw some names out there, and if any of y'all know them well enough to contact them, let me know. Lena Burns, I know she's real creative. I did send her an email. I did not hear back anything.
They
But if
did not
anybody,
see the emails for a while.
right. So if anybody knows Lena, okay. Field and Flowers, I figured we should talk to them.
Oh, Kristen was gonna talk to them.
Okay.
I'll send her a note. I forgot to tell her about this meeting, so.
Okay. And what about Wine and Roses in Somerville?
I don't even know who owns that.
I don't either. I'll stop in, and check. But what about Buster's mom? We should check with Kim, because isn't she really creative?
I was hoping we were gonna see, because they're out of the country today, so.
Okay. And I've talked to Kaylee Lavra.
So did we resolve, oh, hi guys. We're just talking about the Festival of Tables. Had you, in the last 12 hours, had a chance to talk to Grace?
So Grace, no.
Okay.
I thought Kim was gonna talk to her.
Kim's out of the country, so she might have, and so we don't know if she did or not.
Okay. I talked to Grace today, and then I talked to Alyssa Melson. She's gonna do one.
Okay.
And then Field and Flowers this morning. They're gonna get back to me.
Okay,
Oh, good.
super.
I was just writing a
Okay.
note
Okay.
saying, check on Toby Park.
Yeah, she messaged me earlier.
Okay. And, Carla Patronella.
I still don't have her phone number.
I don't either.
Do you have her phone number?
I don't, but I
Yeah.
can message her.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Mike thought she might be interested, so we have no idea if she is, but he
Right.
told me that sounded like something she might be interested in.
Kristen Orostieta. I thought she might be interested.
I can talk to her.
Okay, cool. Tracy Piper.
No, she is not interested.
Okay.
What about the lady that owns the shop out on the highway?
I talked to her.
She's committed, yes, she's gonna do one. What about Susan Bond? Let's talk to her,
Good morning.
you know, today.
Yeah, we talked to her.
Beverly Design. I've heard she's very creative, is all I know. I don't know her. So,
I can tell you. She lives in the cottage.
oh, okay. Okay, cool. And,
Actually, she works at the cottage. Maybe Ashley and all.
I'll
Ashley
just
is,
ask the cottage.
Ashley is Alyssa's sister.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, so she may be involved in this. Okay.
okay.
I was just thinking she's very creative.
And Jane Sebastian.
They said no.
They said no.
She's not sure she's gonna be around.
Gotcha. Okay. If y'all think of anybody else, I mean, basically, we just need to get the word out to people. I think it'd be a real fun event. And since the theme is wide open, you know, I think we're going to end up with some really creative tables. And,
So it's $50 a ticket.
to decorate a table, it's
It's free.
0. Yeah, but
And we have rules, we have information.
Guidelines.
Just get some guidelines. Just get a contact that's interested and then we can send this
Yeah,
stuff out
we
to them.
okay.
Perfect. Thank
Can,
you.
can they kind of reserve that table? For example, Kristen wants to decorate the table and say, hey, I'll buy the same tickets and I'll
Exactly.
bring it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we've got a lot to get to, and I know a number of people at 10 o'clock, so I'm gonna move on. Is that okay? Yeah. Moving on, you're up for mural number 2.
Oh,
All the reports are you right now.
goodness. Okay. She's going to get started. What day did I say? October 28th? Okay. Work through both weekends. Should take, you know, both weekends and then she'll be done. So about 10 days. My only concern is scare on the square.
Yeah.
You know, she won't be working after dark and it'll get dark earlier, but we may want to, I don't know, think about, and I'll be happy to plant myself over there, but, I just don't want any vandalism. I don't want anybody, accidentally doing anything.
But maybe we could put some cones in front of it. I mean, at the
barricades
minimum.
or something. Yeah.
I think the lift is more my concern, unless they can just go against the wall.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's gonna mess with it. Police are down there, but it's just the downtown's just overrun.
Yeah. I mean, if we think it's a big problem, I'm sure like Tyler could get some guys to load it up and take it to the J7 yard for storage. If you were really that concerned about it. But to clarify those dates, Thursday the 27th is when she'll start, and then through November 6th is when we let. Okay.
Thank you. They're donating.
Yes, I was gonna say, J7 is very generously offered to donate the lift, that will be needed, so, we greatly appreciate that. And, anyway, that's where we are.
And the
I'm
wall
excited. I
got-
think it'll be great.
The wall's been
Yeah,
prepped.
wall's been prepped, it's ready to go.
And she doesn't need it to be one color. She didn't care about that part since she's going over it. Okay, perfect. Because it looks prepped and weird right now, and I was like, I assume that you obviously been talking to her about it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Madeline, do you want to jump in about the plaques?
Yes, so I found a couple of places that can make it. They're a little bit pricey, so I'm trying to find something that's not $500 a piece.
Excellent.
But I connect to the internet, but it's not working.
Okay.
To you guys, but I'll send them to you. Basically, they've got all the names of, at least for this one, all the names of the students and y'all and
City council.
as the city council at the time. And then the new one will have current city council, y'all, and I think just like a description, I think is what I decided, and her name, and then the logos and stuff.
Yeah, if you could send that out, we can proof it, and
And this one for the new one will be on the wall, I believe. And then this one out here, the one I found had like 2 posts, and it kind of was just like diagonally mounted.
and it'll be permanent enough that we're not gonna have to deal with.
Yeah.
I mean, it's metal.
Yeah, it'll be metal, like cast iron looking.
Okay.
Like the historical one.
Mm-hmm. And big enough to be readable, because that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you for doing that. I need to report down those signs. All right. Anything else? All right. Anybody have a question about the murals? All right, moving on to our regular agenda. Forrest, do you want to speak to this?
Yeah. So, as many of y'all are aware, we have the sod improvement grant program, so that's the big. So currently, we do matching funds for paint only up to $1,000, and then for a larger facility we have, that would be up to $3,000. We had talked in prior meetings about including murals as part of this, and so if we want to amend it and start working on that, then we just need y'all to give us what guidelines y'all want as far as murals go, so we can write that into this grant, and then we'll bring it back for the draft review and all that.
Does everybody know what we're talking about? This is just to expand it. I personally would like to ask if we could make it retroactive. I guess it's always retroactive, so it's a reimbursement. But I think Lissa, who is not aware of this, should be able to apply for the money. The question is, do we want to match dollar for dollar up to $1,000, or do we want to give people the incentive of $1,000 to incentivize them to paint a mural? Because if they make money on it, I don't think that's not personal, and that's not really our goal. But do we want to get into nickel and diming? You know, my brother did it, but it's a mural still. You know, are we doing supplies? Are we doing artistic? Or does it matter? And we just say you can be reimbursed, provide receipts up to $1,000. And I mean, I'm not aware of anybody that's trying to game this. I don't really have that as my concern, but I just want looking down the.
Do the mural have to pass some type of improvement like the board, or
So,
I know that's a really gray area.
The other ones, as far as like the facade improvement grants, the board does have to approve all of them. So.
Like you see, you don't want some like
Absolutely.
graffiti wall and that's
Yeah.
$1,000.
I think it's got to be approved, and we could put in there at our discretion.
Yeah.
And we could leave it that open-ended so that we don't have things that are questionable to us. I mean, obviously, we've been super careful about the murals going downtown, but the city has obviously, contributed towards. Can't we just say up for approval?
Yeah.
Can we make the grant application minimal? Because the paperwork that we require of people is sizable. Can we try?
I can see what I was going to say, but probably not.
Okay, so if everybody likes that idea, we need to do a motion to amend it?
Yes.
Can I make the motion? Okay, you go ahead.
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor or any more discussion?
Aye.
I passed. I did have, just through happenstance, talked to Christine from Jake's Bakery, and she had no idea, but she said that she's going to do a mural on the wall of Jake's, and was interested in a knot. I mean, she knew that a knot might be a professional. I said, that's not gonna be, the way to go, but I did suggest that Lissa had used the girl that bought the Amherst house, and that might be an avenue. I don't think we. Oh, good, okay. We certainly don't wanna reach out to anybody that's in town, because I think we're gonna get beyond our mission, but, I think it has created some interest in having it, and she wanted something fairly cheap, because she said ultimately they don't want to keep that building. So that was of interest, and I think it'd be great if there's more murals in town, as long as they're not weird. Inappropriate.
On the building where she bakes the collages or actual Jake's?
She said the old building, and so all I can think of is that on 36, well, it's obviously on 36, looking whatever that direction is out. That's the only wall I could think of. And she said, we're not keeping the building forever, so we don't want to spend anywhere like we are. But I just thought it was nice. People are talking about murals, and hopefully us doing some murals has helped.
The girl that bought the Amherst house,
she painted the one on Lissa's.
Oh.
Yeah. And I don't know if she does that professionally, but she does it now professionally. At least she's got one under her belt. But she did a nice job, and she was
and this
local.
Might not be a mural, but for somebody or that are looking to do like signs like the Rodney did. Right. That guy did keep running.
Oh, okay.
Well, and just do we want to tell the girls at the Rodney this is available for y'all to come back for reimbursement? I mean, that kind of fits. It's kind of a, because signs are part of the facade and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
But they never submitted anything for it. They just
shocking. Yeah, they may need one more reminder. So, okay. I didn't want to start just spreading the word if that was not the mission of the program, but I think this is a nice thing. I'd like to be able to tell people that we're doing that. Okay, super. All right, well
So that leads into the next discussion item. So exploring corridor business grant. So with the council, we've been talking about zoning and what that means for the city as a whole. And part of that, I don't know if it was the mayor, but somebody mentioned incorporating an improvement program to the corridors, 36 and 21, making some kind of program similar to the facade improvement grant program, but to allow businesses on that corridor to apply for a grant and then get so much reimbursed. I don't know if it's something that we wanted to incorporate as part of the thing, since we already have it set up, and just say Main Street designated area and the 21 and 36 corridors, or do we want to create a whole separate board, review board, and a whole separate application that's separate from the Main Street program application?
I hope you'll never have another board that's going to take this on.
I agree.
Jess, did y'all have a intent?
No, just, to me, the businesses and residents that have something on 21 and 36, your expectations are higher. I'm sorry, the community and visitors, the expectations are your business should be cleaned up, more appealing, and more inviting, whatever. And I think that's where that conversation started.
What kind of improvements? Because talk about discretion. I mean, that puts us in the driver's seat of what gets approved.
I think a lot of it, and I love JP, who owned the taco place. I mean, that's a red light. People stop there, and it's awful. And I just believe that not necessarily a grant, but does he need assistance cleaning it up? That can range from let's pay for some landscaping, let's pay for the general cleanup, let's pay for a new sign. I'm just not sure if that's something Main Street wants to get into, because 21 and 36 inside the city limits is a huge area. Everybody could say, you know what, I want to refresh, and we're out of money.
Yeah, actually, I was thinking you were talking about from downtown to 21 and to 36. You're talking about on 30. I don't think that should be our.
So right. I agree, and that's why we were wondering, should we create a separate committee for to handle those applications. I didn't know if it was something that y'all wanted to explore, or have us do something separate. The other thing that goes along with this is we're applying to become a Keep Texas Beautiful affiliate, which I think Main Street would be the perfect board to handle because one, it'll encourage improvement and clean up in the downtown area, but it can expand outward beyond the downtown.
Would be limited to Main Street.
So, I mean, that might be something that as we get affiliated with Keep Texas Beautiful, then we explore creating this grant program. And maybe it's a separate committee, like the design committee, that handles those applications and not necessarily the board.
Yeah. What is, James, what do you want our action to be? You know what I mean? Like, what are you hoping?
So the corridor business grant is not necessarily designated for Main Street, it's just, okay.
It's just whether we want to take that on kind of thing?
Yeah.
Could we take on the parts that go without taking on the rest of it?
I mean, I think that goes into the discussion on design.
The boundaries.
Boundary, yeah, on the next.
Yes.
All of these.
Let's nicely.
To each other.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, yeah, if we want to talk about that one, we can. I mean, this one's more of just a discussion item.
Okay.
We don't really need any action
unless we were
gun
ho.
Yeah. Move forward with it. So
I'm scared to take that on, honestly.
Yeah. Okay. So the next one is discussing the Main Street boundary area. So I'm gonna pull up the map for y'all. So this is the current Main Street designated program area. Everything is shaded. So from the comp plan, the students created a historic district, and it's not an adopted historic district, it's just based on what was pre-existing from when the town originally was settled and all that kind of stuff. And I think it can be adjusted some more, what they've drawn, but this is kind of the area that they focused on based on where historic markers are, where historic homes are. I think there's some areas over here that didn't get included. But like I said, this isn't a final historic district, but this is to give y'all an idea of when we talk about downtown, what we want our downtown planning area to be. Do we want it to be just that Main Street designated area? Do we want it to expand to an historic district area, something like that? Or do we want to go all the way to the railroad tracks and then 21 and 36 and incorporate the whole original platted town site? So those are the things that when we talk about boundary and planning area, there's the Main Street designated area, which allows businesses to get grants and things like that, but it also allows us to apply for CDBG grants. But that's really the major benefits that we get from being a part of the Main Street designated area. If we have a separate planning area, then as we do new street signs and streetscape improvements and things like that, we can incorporate all of those improvements to this broader area that encompasses downtown Caldwell. Because the purpose of Main Street focuses on economic development impacts and making improvements to historic buildings, not so much residential. And because we have so much residential in our downtown core, it makes more sense to look at it from a downtown planning standpoint than just the designated area.
Is the cemetery the cutout?
Yeah, on the bottom south side.
And is it necessary to cut it out?
No, I mean it's just cut out that way because that's the way the parcel data goes for the cemetery. But I mean we can make it to where it goes all the way to the railroad tracks. It doesn't have to be cut like that.
I like the historic designation and then a broader planning, because the street signs, if we go into the residential, that's a much bigger decision than just Main Street.
Yeah.
But we could promote it. The city would obviously take the main role in, I mean, because that's the city.
Yeah.
For the historic, I don't know. But I'd like to see, since Tony's so involved in cemeteries, I'm way up to speed on cemeteries now. I know there's lots of other organizations that have stuff to do with cemeteries, and it might benefit us to incorporate the city cemetery into the historic district, because it certainly qualifies in, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Do
Mr.
you?
Gary has a question.
Yeah, Gary.
Forrest, how active, you just mentioned the Rodney, you told them and they didn't do. How active are the applications for Main Street help
Improvement grants.
improvement?
Minimum. I don't think there's been one that's been approved since I've been.
Yeah, we've talked to about three people I know of.
Oh, I know you
Yeah.
can talk, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
But mostly it was COVID, in my opinion. They stopped because it's a reimbursement. And so people didn't make those improvements. The Rodney obviously did. I think they should take advantage of it. But I know Tracy held off on doing it, and she talked 3 years ago about a facade grant and still has interest in doing it, but didn't finish. And Steve Nowak has talked about it.
Yeah, well, my deal is, if you don't have that much activity, what Forrest is saying, you can take 36 and 21 and make the whole deal, wouldn't that benefit the whole program if that were included? If I understand it right, where people could apply for a grant, like, would that include like the old Bessida house?
I don't think the facade grant is designed for businesses. So it's gonna, residential improvement, it's the designation as a historic area. It's not gonna necessarily impact historic homes interest in doing stuff. I think it's a different pot of money that we don't administer. The facade grants are for businesses to do and goes to the core mission. So I like the historic designation, but I don't think it's gonna help the residential guys.
So the facade grants, is it just for businesses, or does it have to be a building owner, or how does that work? Because I know there's people that come in.
It can be both.
A good point.
Yeah.
It can be both. So if it's the business owner, then they have to get approval from the building. I mean, it's either or.
But, okay, here's a question to that. Does an improvement grant include a roof?
No.
Okay.
And
I wish we
gonna
did, although I think we'd be out of money in an hour.
I was gonna say, that would be a good one, and I mean, we can look into, like, Taylor, I think, has expanded theirs to include that, and I'm pretty sure Watson actually has too, so we can look at other programs and see how they inform that, and where they're getting their money from, because I think a lot of it is the funding, and where, where's the money?
Is it more aesthetics than structure?
Yes, it is. It's definitely. And kind of the rub with it is we don't have any enforcement. So you can apply for it, we can agree, and you can do something that isn't aesthetically pleasing to the historic look. We might not approve it and give you money, but virtually you can do what you want.
It's the mustard yellow storefront.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was,
Yeah.
right.
But the roofs, as everyone that's ever talked to anybody downtown, the roofs are impacting the value of all these buildings and the resale and some of the economic development of some of those properties. But roofs cost a lot more than $1,000. I mean, giving somebody $1,000 may not be the incentive, but without ordinances, an incentive for re-roofing may be the only way we can get anybody to take a look at it. I don't know.
Well, that's the problem, the roofs, downtown buildings, but people don't even want to sell their properties on 2136 for businesses that do want to come in.
Absolutely.
And what are they holding it for?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if the roof falls in, then it becomes a hazard. So then they got to tear it down. Well, you got building on either side, but those walls are adjacent. So what do you do?
Yep. Well, we got downtown properties that are falling down.
I don't know why they don't want to sell to help it would not only help them, but it would benefit Caldwell.
I agree. I agree. That sounds like a good letter to the editor. So,
Yeah.
I completely agree. Do we need to take action?
I mean, I guess
Did we come up with anything that was actionable?
if y'all have a specific action y'all like us to take as far as drafting a new boundary area for either the Main Street program area, a historic downtown area, or a downtown parking area. So three options.
Well, honestly, my opinion is yes, let's draft a historic, because it's really not much.
No,
The planning
Right.
and then the historic and Main Street to me are not necessarily the same thing. Because I don't think the Amherst House, which is what has dragged it all the way down there, we're not offering money. It's not a business anymore. And so maybe I don't know where we stop, but maybe that's something if y'all could, if that's not overwhelming y'all, I think it'd be great to look at some actionable lines.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that okay with y'all?
There are other grants that like people who own the Amherst House or the other, historic homes that if it's designated as a historic zone, right?
Then we would trigger some other monies.
It could. I think there are other grants that they could apply for being in that kind of area.
It's state grants, right?
I think so.
State, federal, tax.
So it wouldn't come out of.
Wouldn't come out of
It wouldn't be
us.
city funds that we would fund.
No, it would be something that they could apply for separately.
I think the boundary needs to go one block over and encompass Fox Street
Yeah.
all the way to Stone.
Yeah.
Fox to Stone, because that's got numerous historical homes on it. From the square all the way down to Stone Street.
Yeah, my house is in that,
No,
right?
No.
What about, that's what I was gonna ask, what about,
Fawn?
school? Yeah, Fawn. Is that, I mean, I know that's been here a long time, I don't know how long.
I'm thinking of true historical homes off of Fawn. I know there's multiple on Fox. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fox. Fox.
Yeah.
They have probably even Mustang.
Yeah, right now they put Mustang. And that was part of, there was miscommunication on doing this, and so that's why it's not officially.
Okay.
But definitely Fox, actually.
Church is on Fox, right?
Yeah, the church on Fox. That would encompass Baptist Church and Methodist Church.
And there is that one historic house on Farm.
It's on Fox.
Amy's
is on Hill.
Hill and
Hill and Fawn.
All right, well, thanks. I think that'd be great. Appreciate y'all doing that. Now moving on to board member nominations. We have no retiring members. No terms of our membership are up this December, but my term as chairman is up. And with great enthusiasm, I would like to nominate Betsy to take over as chairman. And so I nominate Betsy. I don't know, we're not electing, this is nominations.
Yeah, so we'll take this to the council in the November meeting.
If there are any other nominations. I don't really think we need a secretary. Y'all serve that purpose. And I think it's farcical to come up with a vice president. I think that's just not going to happen. You agree that there's no retiring. You were going to look at those dates. I looked at my original list. And so next December, we'll have a whole group that, and we'll look for new.
Or some are leaving, some are staying.
Yeah, exactly.
Next year's the year.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because some of us may hit.
The vice chair will just appoint in the event that the chair is absent.
Do that.
Appoint somebody.
That'd be great. Would you like to speak now, or would you like to wait? Do I give a speech? We don't have time. You can speak for 1 minute. My fellow.
Something that Janice and I had mentioned was seeing that she is the mayor and we have the ex officio members, so non-voting board members. She can stay on because she's been on it this far, but if she wants to step down and be a non-voting member, because the way that
it's a conflict when you go to
runs
city
into
council.
the meetings for council, like it can be a conflict of interest, but most of the time she doesn't vote being as mayor. So, I mean, I think she's fine in the position, but when her term expires, that's something that I don't want to discuss. I mean,
but only in the case of being an elected official, or have the past president being
the elected official, because
would that have helped you if that had been in place? Because I don't know that it constantly bothers you.
I learned at the conference last week that as an elected official, I'm really not supposed to hold any type of office in any civic organization. I'm also not supposed to vote publicly in a primary election.
Oh, because you're picking.
Because you're picking and choosing. Yes.
Oh, because you're picking a party. Because otherwise nobody knows who you're voting for.
You're picking a party. That I can vote absentee, but not be out in the public at the courthouse choosing.
Interesting.
I thought that was interesting. And I'm happy to stay where I am now.
Okay.
For I think my term expires in a year.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I can see that being something that would be a conflict down the road. But if it's not a conflict with you right now, then then let's leave it.
Not.
You're not going to be a voter.
I'm not a voter.
Okay.
Right.
And then
Yeah, I didn't know of anything else that we needed to do. We'll vote on those in December.
Yeah.
Upon city council.
Yeah.
Or does the city council actually vote? We're done.
Y'all just nominate and then y'all vote for whoever you want to be the chair. So that'll just go.
All I did was nominate. Should we take a vote inside the? Do we need a vote to move it forward, or is a nomination sufficient?
No. Yeah, you're good. You don't vote until next time.
Okay. Gotcha. Alrighty. I don't know what the design plan priority list is.
I think
we cover that.
Y'all.
Oh yeah.
So basically, from the committee meeting, we've been talking about the design plan, putting that together. So we're going to send something out to y'all to rank your priorities, and then we'll bring forward like a basic survey for us to look at in that meeting in November, and then from there we'll put it out to the public and plan a public meeting so that way we can get that going.
And for those of y'all that we've been looking at road signs, historic signs, the logos, how we're gonna brand them, all of that stuff, and so we'll take that forward to the November community meeting and introduce it as a survey. I think it'll be great.
Forrest spoke with a gentleman at the conference last week who had samples of light poles. Like they had them on display, and they're actually much larger in person than I think they are. Anyway, and just the ones that were on display I thought were beautiful. Whatever. So
they would actually come out and sit down with us at a committee meeting, so we can do like a workshop and actually come up with some designs. So I already emailed him, and once we have the next meeting, then we can figure out if we want to do that in January or whenever to get them to come out and do a workshop on the street.
Yeah, that's exciting.
A note on that, I know we had talked about taking the big ones down and powder coating them. Tyler said that Everson has the biggest shop powder coating.
Who does?
Everson.
Okay.
So.
An in.
Yeah.
I shall text her while she's wherever she is.
We have someone who.
In your absence, you were not elected as chair, but Okay, well, that's good to know. Moving into our reports from Madeline.
So I took your comments on the logo for the downtown. Um,
Oh, good. Yep, so y'all can
So
see him.
this is the previous one. Y'all mentioned that this is up a little too high, it's kind of covering downtown a little too much. So what I did was I made the outline smaller of this part down here and scooted it down.
I thought we were taking out the word Texas.
I didn't have that written down, but I could be.
I thought we took out Texas
Because
as
these
well.
are signs in down in
That's
here.
right, I remember that.
So,
Okay.
so that'll,
Yeah,
it'll give us more.
Yeah.
More blue, if you will.
Yeah. And I'll scooch that, I think, into the middle. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I forgot about that.
But it's still
are
just
y'all
beautiful.
okay with the spacing and how I kind of scooted it down?
From downtown to Caldwell, yes.
Okay, cool.
So will you just center Caldwell?
I think I'll just
or are you
center
gonna
it.
stretch it out, or?
I'll see what the font looks like stretched out a little bit, but I think maybe just centering it will look nice.
Yeah, Ben does too.
But I don't have to say anything.
But
And I've been kind of
yes.
Why is
exploring.
Caldwell even touching it downtown? I mean, why is it in downtown?
Aesthetically.
It's a design thing.
It's just it was just a design, and so we had her drop it down just a little bit.
Yeah, because this was kind of covering too much. And I've been kind of exploring some other color options because I have a habit of sticking with the same colors that are on here, and I think we wanted to see some other options. So I can send those to you once I kind of decide. I have like 15 options that I don't want to send you 15.
Yeah, maybe narrow that down.
But yeah.
So those are the little signs that would go like on top of the stop signs.
Yeah. So and I should have sent it here because my computer's again still silly, but this is kind of like what the shape of, for example, like a street sign could look like with the little arch on top and then the street name in the middle. Or have it be, the long, the directional signs and have the logo on the top, that kind of stuff. And then also for, a gateway signage.
And those big ones that have the arrows that we looked at that say where things are going.
Yeah.
So the street signs would literally, downtown Caldwell would be gone and the name of the street would go inside.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to add copy.
Right. So like the arch, the Longhorn arch would kind of be the identifier in that.
I like that. I do too. I think the street names need to be in the upper font, not in the script.
Well, I think there are specific text on.
Oh, there are rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
Expectations for that. And then I think with the arch, those signs are probably more expensive. So I think maybe we pick those for, like the main specific streets, and then our side streets and stuff could be just the typical rectangular shape.
Rectangular shaped ones. Just do the arch.
I think that's what I'm thinking because downtown Bryan has it like that.
Yeah.
With it on the left.
Yeah, because we want the look of it. Well, I want them all wrought iron like somewhere, but I think that might be just a wee bit above target.
A little pricey on that one, but yeah, I'm glad you guys like it.
Just one.
The shirt. Yeah. So I wore it. Felt really cool in San Antonio. So I gave away a couple of them the other night at the fire station. The people I gave them to were very excited, not just the free, that they received something free, but they were just excited that it wasn't advertising anything except Caldwell. Mm-hmm. And they were, where can we buy these shirts?
Good grief.
And so
at the Festival of Tables. No,
I just, even if we sold them for $5, I'm not
there
sure.
There are some cities that do that. I think Arlington has a little merch shop in their visitor center. There are some options. I don't know how we deal with the taxedness tax, or I don't know if there's
Oh,
some
yeah,
kind of
because
weird.
sales tax.
Yeah, we can, I mean,
We'd have to look into it more, but it's definitely an
Or
option.
sold through the civic center, you know, like if.
That's,
Yeah.
yeah, if we do that, we would have to have the council adopt it into the fee schedule, like as merch in the fee schedule. So we can.
But you know, you could do, we accept donations,
I was just saying.
and we suggest a $10
Okay.
donation or $5 donation.
And we could do it where.
No, this is the Brazos Valley Gives one.
Oh,
That's why I was like, how did you get that?
No, I don't have, then I'll take
Yeah,
that.
you want that, yeah.
It just says,
She said she had
live
one, I was
well,
like, I didn't know how.
live well, Caldwell. It's just very, very simple, and it's that color.
Oh, it's that
blue.
color.
That's why I thought that's what that was.
Oh, cool.
So.
Yeah, no, since you're working at the thing, I brought you a shirt for Brazos Valley Gives.
But no, like I said, it's just a pleasing color of blue. It's not Texas orange. It's not maroon. It's just a blue that.
And it'd be good for the concerts.
Yes, and it's just, like I said, it's just, Madeline did a fantastic job of that becoming like a community motto, live well in Caldwell, so.
Yeah. And I've got, we're gonna be setting them up in the civic center today, but I've got koozies and cups and mugs coming eventually for staff, but
cool.
Those kinds of things to help kind of get people excited and wanting to. Yeah.
Oh, that's super.
She did great. Very cool. She did great.
Keep going fast.
Oh, do you guys have any comments on the work plan? I sent that out to y'all, Friday or Thursday.
Well, my notes back to you. Some of the red we are working on. And the red made me feel bad that they weren't done, but they weren't necessarily past due. Colors. No, I understood when I finally looked at it, and then there are surveys that we're conducting. There's lists. We adopt a work plan every year. And many of them are well down the road. The walk around assessments by the committees is a glaring hole. And so we need to focus on committing to just maybe scheduling a couple of days and doing some of that.
One of those committee meetings is coming up since we're focusing on downtown design plan. I think we just say meet the civic center, and then we can all migrate to downtown and walk around all together.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And that way we don't have to do a separate meeting.
And we can invite the business owners.
Yeah.
Which are always invited, but maybe we can send out one specific thing. And we can make the work plans available if y'all want to see what they look like.
Yeah, we'll post on the Main Street website.
But this is our adopted work plan. This is just an update on our progress, I would assume.
This is to adopt it for the next year.
Oh, this is the new one.
Yeah, and there's a lot of repetitive in there because it's ongoing stuff, but there's some new stuff in there that she's added.
Was there anything that was significantly changed? Because I think last year's work plan had a 2-year schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, in reality.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of marketing stuff.
Which we're on the cusp of having the welcome brochures and all those things, so that'll qualify for points on that.
There was an issue with this reprint. They had to reprint them, and so we should get them in the next few days.
Oh, goodness, okay. The welcome brochure she designed with the map, because I've been bugging her, and she's like, they're coming, and then they're never here, so.
Yes, there was an issue.
Something that I want to bring up, it's becoming an issue of scheduling to have meetings here in the mornings. So would y'all be okay if we did have at the Civic Center at 6 p.m.?
Sure.
So we'll just have all of our meetings at the Civic Center all at 6 p.m. But we'll still do the rotation for board meetings.
Oh, at 6 p.m.
Yeah. Is that okay?
That's fine with me. It would make it a lot easier with the paper, because I have just baffled them. They're finally putting them in the paper, and they put the quote, the parentheses that said every other month on even months, and I was like, that is so much worse than not saying it's happening. But yes, that's fine with me.
If we just say all of them are at the Civic Center
At 6 p.m.
At 6 p.m.
Yeah. And everybody's been so good about coming that that'd be great. Do we need to amend the bylaws? Because I think that's in the bylaws, or did we just say every other Tuesday? Every other month on Tuesday?
I don't even think we put that in there, I think we just said.
Monthly. Bi-monthly.
Bi-monthly.
So it won't matter. Is that okay with you? Excellent.
That will make my life.
It's always better than I can see that being an issue. All righty. Do you have anything else?
I'm going to, I think I can, in the words of a game show host, I believe I can promise you 5 tables for etiquette.
Excellent.
And anyone, we've got flyers up here, please take some.
Give me one more.
Just for the people that already have a table.
Let me say one thing, then we'll show you the list. I want to give everybody an update on Brass Valley Gives. We have received $661 of donations to Main Street.
Shut your mouth.
$661. It's terrific, and it's not just us, which is terrific. That's just Main Street. I'm still actively trying to recruit money for the Power Fund. The event is next Tuesday. Thank y'all for signing up. If you can, if you want to donate, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'd love to share it with you.
And are we just hanging out front? Just out front.
She's going to have a table and chairs. I've ordered a flutter flag that says give. Impact is splitting the cost with me for a sign that says give. And so we're open 8 to 6 to accept donations in person. The website is live. The inserts with 159 charities is in the paper this week. And if you know anybody, let me know.
There's also a pumpkin patch at the Civic Center starting on Saturday. This coming Saturday, so it'll go all the way through Halloween.
Oh, it'll be festive out there. Okay. Thank you guys.
Also, the food drive is December